Hey, I'm Alan Knowles from CT Racing, out here at the Dumont Dunes with the crew from DirtWheels magazine. Came out here to test this awesome Honda Talon. So I'm going to give you the rundown on it, as much info as I can on this Talon, what it was built for, and what we're using it for, and how the two crisscross. Car is mostly a destination car. We do a lot of stuff like that, but we do spend a fair bit of time in the sand. So we did some sand setup for this weekend, and that's how we're running it. And we'll let you know what we like and so forth. So I'll give you a rundown on it. You'll see me looking at my cheat sheet because there's way too much stuff to remember and I'll forget something, so I'm going to go through it for you. Talon, I like the Talon a lot. For the sand, it's a bit soft on power. You'll notice that. So, you know, we're probably going to put a Jackson turbo on it next, but for the way it is, it's really acceptable. You just notice it really climbing some of the big dunes, especially at Dumont. It's got some big dunes. It just falls a little bit short, but it's still we had a good time with it. Rips through the dunes. You can drift it, slide it, huck it everywhere, and not cook a belt off of it, so we're all good. The first thing you'll notice that really makes this car stand out is the Long Travel Industries cage. They build a really nice cage. They build what is a spare tire rack in the back, which I like. That kind of pays off in the destination stuff, not so much in the sand, but it does carry a spare tire. And I like that. It's a fairly low cage, and it's strong. The Long Travel guys, they build race cages all the time. That's their specialty. So if you're looking for a really strong, safe cage for a Talon, call Brian at Long Travel Industries and tell him to give it to you for, I don't know, half price. I don't think it'll work, but you can try it. I do a lot of stuff at night as well, so we did a lot with the lighting. We have laser star lights littering this car. Obviously the top big light you see, got a couple lights in the front. I'm a big fan of running ambers in the rear so the other guys that are in the group can see in the dust. When we're doing the destination stuff, that's not so important in the sand, but when we get off-road, it's really nice to have. So I have all those, and you should really think about looking up laser star stuff and making sure you get some ambers on it. One of the tricks I'll give you a quick little setup on, when I do the front lights, I always aim one of them down, because what happens is you got these big lights you can see out there in the desert for 7 miles, but you go off the edge and you're going to drop off something, you can't see crap, you can see everything out there. So that's why you want to aim one down. So set up an extra light just to go when you go off the edge of something, you can see what's up, and that helps a lot in the dunes at night. So that's my tip on the lights. For the sand, we went with the Scat Tracks. The rear, they're 32-inch tires all the way around, Mohawk fronts. The rear is a 12 paddle, and that particular paddle is called the Talon, just happens to be that way. And they work really well. We were able to slide the car just loose enough. I don't want it too hooked up. We can drift it and do what we want in the sand. So it's a really good setup. So Scat Track's been building paddle tires since there's been paddle tires, basically. They're the kings of paddles. So look at Scat Track. The wheels are also Scat Track. They do a cast wheel. It's light. You got to keep the sand stuff, you want it light. I mean, normally I run beadlocks everywhere, but not in the sand because it's too much weight and slows the car down. So Greg offers this wheel and tire combination. It's just a package that's light, handles good, and fast. So that buttons that up. Under this car, for protection of rocks, which again, you don't need in sand, but we've got a factory UTV skid plate on it. UHMW, that's the material. What that means, I have no freaking idea. It means really tough plastic, about a 1/2 inch thick or 3/8 inch, that you can slam the thing through rocks. And if you do that with a factory skid plate, there'll be pieces of your skid plate littering all the rocks you just went through. So look at the factory UTV. They're the best in the business of building strong skid pans for all the models of UTV. I've had them on several, so look those up. So we always use the rugged radios for destination stuff. All of our cars have them so we can communicate. And that way when you're off-road and you're in the dust, you can stay out of the dust. You can be a 1/2 mile back. The guy calls out what you're doing ahead. And so rugged radios is good for that. It's good for miles. Again, you don't need it in the sand, but it's just nice to have. And then with the intercom, you can communicate with your passenger. And when you talk with your passenger in the car, you're just talking back and forth, and the helmet mic picks it up, and you don't have to push any buttons or anything. You do have to push a button to go car to car, so that makes it nice. So you can move along, keep everybody separated, and not be breathing dirt all weekend. When it comes to breathing dirt, a helmet filter system is the bomb. This particular car has the S&B particle separator. We have 2 of them on the car, one for your helmet. So there's a clean air separator bolted on the cage, and then it runs a hose over your helmet, and you got to have a helmet that lets it plug in. And you can buy some adapters to mod your helmet to receive those. The particle separator keeps your motor clean and running good. That's just a no-brainer. You've got to get the particle separator if you're driving off-road. It keeps They say 96%. I don't care if it's 80, I don't care if it's 50%. It's definitely worth doing. Keeping dirt out of your motor, keeping it alive is important. So run the particle separator, and then I kind of like to breathe clean air myself, and it makes it a lot better when you're doing trips and stuff, when you're following people, having the clean air breathing system of the particle separator. So we run both of those. This car is littered with Mod Quad parts. They have a good list of cool billet parts. This car has got a gas cap. They built a really nice billet mirror. It's got a shift knob, and you think, oh, shift knob is not a big deal until you get used to using it, and then you jump in a stock car like I did today, and it's like, oh, this thing's nasty. I like the nice one from Mod Quad. So look through their catalog of cool stuff they make. They make a lot of nice billet accessories for side-by-sides. This car has a Trinity exhaust system on it. We went with the Trinity. What I like about the Trinity system is it's not overly loud. I don't like them to get loud. It does add a bunch of power. When we threw it on, it actually, the cars, because California has messed up the world, and being a communistic state, they have all these rules for keeping the cars too lean so that you can run, and you put anything that makes power on them, they go way too lean. So that, along with the exhaust, which did make it run almost too well on its own, we went and reflashed it with a Dynajet Power Vision. So Power Vision gives it the fuel it should have had from the factory, but California won't let anybody have it. And so we reflash it. Now, of course, you can't have one of those and drive in California. That would be, I think, illegal. But so as long as you're out of the communist state of California, get the Power Commander, get like an exhaust from Trinity. Car is relatively quiet and runs really well. It's noticeably faster, and they get faster. I think it's 6 horsepower just from getting the tune correct that California doesn't let everybody have. So we did that. This thing has some 6-stick whips on it. It's a cool outfit. They're out of Northern California. Really nice guy runs it. Call them, talk to them. They've got all kinds of different combinations of whip lights, different colors. These, I think, change colors. You got a little remote. You can make it do all kinds of cool stuff. So you can, it's nice because you can identify who you're following by how the whips are colored. So this got 6-stick whips. Look that guy up and get a set of those. They're nice to have. Overall, ran the car hard out here in the dunes today. Had a couple other guys in it thrashing on it. I think they liked it. We'll get a report from them, but it handles good. It's fun to drive. Again, it's just a little soft on the big hills, like trying to drag race up the hills. I can't beat the turbos, and that irritates me. So other than that, everything about it is just a blast to drive, ripping and sliding and tearing up the dunes. Car worked out good, and it's, you can see I didn't tear the top off it or roll it upside down, so that's a bonus. Okay, Alan Knowles, DirtWheels Magazine, out.